Hi everyone. Today video is on email sending in NestJS application. So we are going to send a simple plain text email in this video. So let's create a sample NestJS application. So for creating the NestJS application, NestJS CLI command is like nest space name of your project. Okay, let's create the project. Project created successfully. Let's open my project in Visual Studio Code Editor. This is our NestJS application. Okay. Now first let's install NodeJS modules that are NodeJS packages that are related to email sending. Okay. So command for installing the Node mail packages are @nestjs-modules/mailer and node mailer. We will install these two packages. After packages installed successfully, go to package.json file and in the dependencies, you can see our newly installed packages nestjs-modules/mailer and node mailer. Okay. Now let's configure the mailer module in our app module. Okay, let's go to app module. In the imports, let's import mailer module. Okay, mailer module that loads from nestjs-modules/mailer. Okay, for root. So here we need to add some configurations. So first configuration, that is transports. Let's open an object and here host. Host will be our SMTP domain. SMTP is nothing but simple mail transfer protocol. Okay. So here we need to give our SMTP host. And next, authentication credentials like username and pass. Okay. So these are the needed configuration for sending the email. Okay, so where do we get them? So we need to have a one SMTP. Okay, so for that I am going to use the SendGrid, which is a third-party mail sender. Okay, so I am going to use the SendGrid SMTP and its credentials for sending the email. Okay, so go to sendgrid.com and sign up with this website. And for development or for learners, SendGrid provides free package that is 100 mails per day. Okay, so that means 100 emails we can send through the SendGrid. So those are more than enough for learning the email send and receive process. Okay, since I have already signed up with this website, I am going to log into my dashboard. So go to sign in. Let's log in. Okay, once log in, on left hand side menu, go to settings. Under settings, go to sender authentication. Okay, so from here in the sender authentication, click on the get started button. Okay, so here we need to register one from address. Okay, that from address will be used in our applications to send the emails. Okay, so this from address in general, it should be like a business Gmail. Okay, for the learning purpose, demo purpose, we can use our personal, but the recommended is business Gmail. Okay, so let me register my from email. I will give some name. And reply to also same email I am going to use. and give some address. Click on create. Now one verification email has been sent to our registered from address. We should verify our from address by clicking the verification link. Okay, let's go to our from email which we registered here. Small correction, I have given wrong email from address. I have corrected it and I am saving and I am sending verification code again. Okay, small correction. Now let's go to my from email address and make our email address verified. So here is my SendGrid verification mail. Click on the verification single sender. And you can see a tick mark here. That means our from address is successfully verified. Okay. After that, here on left hand side, go to email API and go to integration guide. Okay. And here select for SMTP relay. Okay. Here let's create a API key name. Okay. And click on create. Okay. API key is successful. So from here we have to get some information into our application, that is like server, that is smtp.grid.net. So copy this host name and assign it here. Okay. And username will be API key and password will be the generated API key. Okay. So please remember that this generated API key will be shown only once at the time of creation. If you again log into our dashboard or if you refreshes the page, we won't see the uh, API key value. We have to regenerate it. Okay. So whenever you create API key, make sure to save it safely. Okay. So my configurations are done in the app module. Now let's create a controller like email controller. So for creating a controller, command is like nest space generate space controller space here there is no name, sorry for that, space name of your email space flat hyphen flat means I don't want to create any folder for the controller. Okay, let's run the command and we can see, let's go to our email controller. Okay, so in this controller let's add a action method for sending the simple plain text as a email. Okay, first let's add a constructor. And to this constructor, let's inject mail service. Okay. And now let's add that mail service loads from the NestJS module / mailer. Okay. And now let's add a action method. Async in text email. Okay. So action method should be decorated with the, I will use like HTTP get method, this one, and let me add the route value. Okay. And I want to receive a query parameter. That query parameter will be the to email, nothing but the recipient email address. Okay. So to add the query, Now using the mailer service, await this dot mailer service dot send email, and to this send email we need to configure the send mail option. Okay, so options are like to address, nothing but our to email. Okay, from email. Okay, just we have created, right? Copy that from email. So let me copy my from email. So here I am copying my from email. And next, subject for my email, simple plain text. Okay, and to send simple plain text as a body, we have to use property like text. Okay, so here, welcome to NestJS email demo. Okay, so that's it. And finally, return success, some response. Okay, now let's run and test whether we are able to send the email. Okay, so here is my URL email slash plain text email to email, and I have given some of my other email address to receive the email. Okay, let's reload. I got success message. Let's go to my two email address which I specified and check whether I received a email or not. See here, I got simple plain text email, and you can see my simple plain text email as a body. So that means we have successfully sent email from our NestJS application to my recipient email address. Okay. Hi everyone. So welcome to the second video on NestJS email sending. In this video, we are going to generate dynamic email template, and we are going to send it as a email body from the NestJS application. So in the first video, if you recall, we have implemented plain text sending as an email with basic configuration of the email. Okay. So let's jump into our project. So to generate a dynamic HTML template means on fly we can bind the data to a HTML file. Okay, so we will have a template, email template with HTML design. Okay, and there will be placeholders, and those placeholders data will be dynamically binded to it. Okay, so to do that, we are going to use another third-party library that is called Handlebar library. So using the Handlebar, we are going to uh, generate the dynamic template. Okay, so first let's install Handlebar package, npm package. So command to install Handlebar is npm install -save handlebars. Okay, let's install the package. After installing package, inside of the src, let's create a new folder like mails, any folder you can create. Inside of it, let me add a handlebar template. Okay, handlebar template extension will be HBS. Okay, .hbs, which is a handlebar file template. Okay, so I will create a one sample handlebar file like superhero.hs hbs. Okay, so I have already designed some HTML for sending as a email. Okay, handlebar template design. So I am going to copy paste it here. So here I have pasted my design. It is simply a HTML, okay, snippet I have added here. See, some style tag, header, okay, and body tag. So what it makes handlebar template means dynamic data will here we added as a placeholders with the double brackets. Okay, so what that means on dynamically that data will be binded before sending the email. Okay, so Here superhero will be the model object to my template. From that object, I am going to render the required properties. Like here, I want to bind the name. Same way, in the style tag also, I used same object. Okay. So if you observe here, background image, superhero dot image URL. I am rendering. I want to bind here image URL from the superhero object. Okay. If suppose one of the property of my superhero object is an array, then I can loop it using hash each. So these all syntaxes, hash each, double curly braces are handlebar syntax. Okay. So here what I can do, hash each means it will loop the content inside of it. So since it is a normal powers means powers here property is there, right? That is a simple array property. So this means the item will be rendered here. Okay. So that is the basic uh, template I have designed to send as an email. Okay. Now let's go to app module, and I want to do one more configuration. So this is a .hbs file, right? On project build, if our project build, this file should be automatically generated into our dist folder, right? So to do that, we need to add configurations in our nest-cli.json file. Okay. If you won't configure, okay, this directory, uh, whenever we deploy our project, the HTML template files or the handlebar template files will not be deployed. Okay. So let's configure first. For that, go to nestcli.json, and here compiler options. Okay. Specify a compiler options. Inside of it, add a property like assets. Okay. It will be an array. And here I can define my template folder, mail template folder. So my template folder is mails, right? Slash all content inside of it. Star. Okay. And then want to generate while watch also. Okay. Watch mode also. Okay. Save it, and once run the project and observe the files are deployed to dist folder or not. Go to dist folder, and you can see here mails and our handlebar template. Okay. And now go to app module, and here inside of the mail module we have to configure our handlebar template as well. Okay. So let's configure it. So here let's add one more property like template. Okay. So here we can configure the our handlebar. Okay. First, from which directory templates we want to load. So I can use join that loads from path, this path. Okay. And I want to join hyphen directory. This will give the current directory name. Okay. And my folder. What is my folder? Mails, right? So I have specified like this. And now next, that is the path we have to specify. Next adapter. What kind of library I am using for generating the template? Nothing but a handlebar, right? So here we need to specify the handlebar adapter. Okay. Handlebar adapter. Okay. So that will be loaded from at the rate nest mail modular dot dist slash adapters slash handlebar adapters. Okay. So here handlebar adapter. Okay. So that is the configuration required. Now let's create a new endpoint for sending the HTML email template, dynamic HTML email template as a body. Okay. In email controller, let's create a new action method. Okay, async. I will name it like post HTML email. I am expecting some payload. So that payload data I am going to use it for HTML handlebar template binding data. Okay. So at the rate body to read the payload. Okay. And I want this should be a at the rate post method, and I will define route like HTML email. Okay. And now let's copy this code, and here let me hard code two email address like from payload. I will take the two email address payload dot email to email. Okay. And next I want to send HTML, right? So here I can specify the template. So what is the name of my template? Superhero, right? Just specify the name. No need to give extension. Okay, superhero. And here we have to add one more property like context. So to this context, we have to send the data. So that data will be binded to our handlebar template. So let's open our handlebar template. I have defined one object, right? Superhero. So to that object, superhero, I will simply send my payload. Okay. So this payload should contains properties like name, powers, that is an array type, and image URL. These three properties must be present in this object because I am directly assigning to this. Okay. And I simply return success message. Okay. Now let me open the Postman and try to prepare the payload to send an email. So here is the payload I have prepared. Okay. This is my endpoint, and I selected raw and I selected JSON application slash JSON, and here you can see name, power, image URL. All these properties are exist in this template, so they can replace while sending email. And here one more property we have, that is to email, so that this is the recipient email. Okay, let's send the email and see I got success response. That means email has been sent successfully to this recipient email. So let me check my email whether I received an HTML based email. Here you can see I got the email, and here you can see nicely formatted HTML design. And here see these are dynamically binded by looping over the handlebar template. Here we are looping right powers. So from Postman I have sent an array of data, and that data here in the handlebar using hash each we loop, right? Same way it is rendered list, li list is rendered. And see here Iron Man name. See, I have sent Iron name, sorry, but it is dynamically binded here name. And background image, this big background image I'm sending as a payload, right? Image URL, and that is binding here in the style tag. Here see, that's how handlebar dynamically binds our data to the handlebar template. Okay. Hi everyone. In this video, we are going to do NestJS email with file attachments. Okay. So let's jump into our project. So to work with attachments for email, we have to install one more package like @type slash node mail. Okay, means TypeScript node mail package we have to install. So let's install it. Okay, we have to install the @type slash node mailer, and it should be a dev dependency package. Okay, install it. And then next, into the email folder, mails folder. So for this demo, I want to send a small image file as an attachment. So in the mails folder, let's add a image. Okay, one image file, any image file you want. Okay, I have already added one image file into the mails folder. Okay, now let's create a action method, new action method that going to send a email with file attachment. Okay, I think, and I will read to address as a query parameter to email address. Okay, and now let me copy paste this send mail method, and it comes from to email. Okay, file attachment. So here I am not sending any template, but you can send. And here one more thing you have to remember that if you want to send a file attachment, we must use either template, or which is nothing but creating a dynamic HTML template, or we have to use HTML. Okay, either template or HTML we should contain in this send method. Attachments won't work with simple plain text emails. Okay, so don't use simple text without having HTML property in the send method. Okay, so for this demo I will send a simple HTML. Okay, here it will take string. Okay, so I have added HTML tag, so that is good. And now we have to add attachments. So here the attachments property, which is a array of property. That means we can send a number of files as a attachment. So here inside of it, first I have to define the path. Okay. So if I define the local path, automatically while sending, that file will be converted as a stream of data and sent to the email as an attachment. Okay. So to define the where is my image file, it is in the folders path, right? Sorry, mails folder, right? So to define that, I'm going to use join. Okay. So this join loads from path. Okay. So to this method, current directory name, comma, mails, comma, name of my image. So what is my image name? By -1 web. Okay. So on runtime, email sender will read it as a stream of data, the file under this path. Okay. And next, let's specify the file name for the attachment. I will specify like wonder.web3, any name. Okay. And the content disposition. Content disposition is nothing but attachment. Okay. So that's it. So attachment properties, array of property where we can add a number of files as an attachment. Okay. And finally I simply return success message. So let's run our application and access our new endpoint, and then check whether we got email with a file attachment or not. Okay. And to my action method, let's define route as well. I forgot to define the route. So decorate with get method and file attach. Okay. Let's rerun the application. Okay. This is my endpoint. And here is the two email address, nothing but the recipient email address. So let's run endpoint. So I got success message. Let's check my recipient email has received email with file attachment or not. So here you can see I got received email address, and here you can see the file attachment. Okay, this is the file I have attached, right? So I have got successfully email. So that's all about the different techniques of sending email from the NestJS application. I hope this video has delivered some useful information to you all. If you like my video, please support me by subscribing to my channel. Soon we are going to meet with new videos. Until then, signing off.